Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Um, you guys are probably wondering, like, what the fuck this is. Because usually when I do the wiretap, um, it doesn't look like this. um, well, I want to do a solo episode, really just because. I don't know. There's no exact reason why. I just thought it'd be an interesting experiment to kind of see what was going on and stuff, and just kind of do it. No reason, no rhyme or reason, just to do it to see. Um, so I want to start off because if you guys listen to my podcast, you hear me bring up stories a lot and experiences I have, stuff like that. So I want to kind of talk about some of my experiences and what kind of like what I used to do and what I still do and stuff like that. Um, Everyone on my Twitch knows me as a streamer and probably as a YouTuber, and so that one's obvious. Hey, Red, and so everyone here and on my YouTube probably knows me as like a YouTuber. If you're on my YouTube, you probably also know I did music here, maybe not as much unless you're around during the podcasts. But I used to do music. I was in two bands that ever did shows. It's in like a mellow death kind of band, kind of like the band Death was what we sounded like a lot of. And then I did a deathcore band called Scourged for a while too, and we were like deathcore, hardcore kind of sound. Um, and yeah, no, so like whenever anybody asks like, "Oh, why do you bring on all these musicians? Like, what's your connection to them?" That's what my connection to them is that like I played in a band and I saw them all a lot because they were either going to my shows or I was going to their shows or whatever. And now I just kind of go to shows because, listen, I love music. It's my favorite thing on the planet. God, do I fucking hate the music industry. I fucking hate participating in the music industry so much that like I couldn't do it anymore. You know what I mean? Like I just could not do it anymore. I just didn't want to have to sit there day in and day out and like sell myself and be the leader of the band because I was the vocalist, even though really I wasn't even a little bit. But like, there's just a lot about the music industry that just left a sour taste in my mouth. Super predatory deals and people just constantly trying to scam you left and right. It just I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. I loved making the music. I loved going to our practice space and writing songs and practicing, and I loved playing shows, seeing the homies, throwing down and moshing and all that fun stuff. Like I loved that part of music. I loved the performing. I loved the art. I loved the friends. I could not for the life of me get with the business side of music. I hated it. So that ended up being why that's why I don't do music anymore, and also just lack of time. Honestly, if I had the time, I'd probably do something. I don't know what, but I'd probably do something just to as like a fuck off little side thing. But I just kind of really hated it. There's just really bad taste in my mouth. Um, It's really unfortunate because I love making music. I've been practicing vocals since like middle school. Like that's how much I wanted to be in a metal band. I heard Suicide Silence and Census Fail. And after I heard both of those bands, I was like I need to be a vocalist. And so like the most important albums to me are in terms of like what inspired me to want to make art was Let It Enfold You by Census Fail and The Cleansing by Suicide Silence. And like that's why I have so much respect for musicians, because they can do both. Like with okay, like a little behind the scenes. Like for instance, for YouTube, I am the only one doing this. It is just me for like for this channel, for my YouTube. Like I don't have anybody else. The most I will have is I'll maybe commission a musician to make a track so I can use in my video. That is about it. Like there's no other input. It's just me. And unless I'm like collaborating with somebody. But even then, like the input is minimal. So it's just me. And I like that a lot. I like that I don't have anyone breathing down my neck to do anything specific. I like that I can just kind of sit and like whatever idea pops in my head, I'm like, that's what I'm doing. When I speaking of which, I had a really good idea that I need to do, and I think you guys are gonna like it. I'm gonna turn it into a YouTube video. Anyways, um, so yeah, no, and that's why I gravitate more towards this, because the business side of this doesn't involve anybody else. Like, thank you. The business side of this doesn't involve anybody else. It's just me. And so once I start getting up in like if I start getting up in numbers, if I start getting up in numbers for either YouTube or Twitch, like that becomes a bit different, especially for Twitch. But like it's pretty much just me. So whatever I do is my own. I don't have to worry about somebody else's actions involving or like affecting what I do. In a band, you have to worry about the 4 to 3 to whatever many other dudes in your band. And you have to worry about what they do and what they think, and you have to get their opinion constantly and constantly and constantly. And that's what makes bands great, is that it's a culmination of like 5 different people's personalities into a sound. It makes it interesting. But I when it comes to business, I hated having that many opinions, because like if I thought something was a good idea, then maybe somebody else didn't, and then maybe somebody else didn't like that idea, and then it just became this whole like tumbling nightmare. And it sucks. So it ended up being why I was like, well, maybe I should do YouTube, because I've been editing videos, like, and like making videos since I can remember. Basically, I just nuked everything of them though. You can't find them anywhere, thank God. Um, like I remember I never uploaded them, thank God. And what little content I did upload, I nuked, thank God. But like I remember I made like let's plays of Call of Duty Black Ops multiplayer, because I was just like a fucking like forehead and just wanted to do something. And I remember I was editing it all in like Microsoft Movie Maker, which was just like the worst. Um, but I really liked it. It was fun. I liked making content and stuff. I like doing that sort of shit. And yeah, no, like I just love doing that kind of stuff. So I was like, well, maybe after my band fell apart, and I didn't really know if I wanted to keep doing music. I was like, well, maybe I can try that. And so I like kind of researched it a bit. I researched like the industry of like not only online content but also like Hollywood content and commercials and freelance and all that fun stuff. And I was like, yeah, I think I like this more, because like no matter what happens, I'm going to either end up being the boss, whether it's of myself or of other people, of a company or whatever, or I'm going to be an employee, whether it be just under somebody else or whatever, or I'm going to be like equals with one other person, maybe. And then I just have to talk to that one person, and then we just come to a conclusion. And I like that a lot more than having the clusterfuck of like 5 opinions being thrown at me. So I ended up being like, yeah, I want to do that. And so I started looking around for scholarships, because I was like, I want to go to school for it. By the way, don't. It is not worth it. Um, at least not the way I did it. It's not worth it. I'm about to be done with school. I graduate on April 2nd or something like that. Um, so, but so I was looking around for scholarships, and I found a couple. And so I was like, okay, let's try the school thing. And I applied to Full Sail University under their bachelor's not cinematography, digital cinematography degree. And I got in. My scholarships all worked out. I'm chilling, and like I ended up liking it a lot more. I like creating content a lot more. So for anyone who's listening to this on podcasts, I have a bot in my Discord server that tells people when I'm going live, right? And it seems to do so at like random times. Like the other night I streamed and I streamed for an hour and it never told anybody I went live. This time I've been live for about 10 minutes or 11 minutes and it just told people I went live. Fucking whatever. But I end up liking it more. I like this process more. I like editing. I like filming stuff. I like making things look pretty or disturbing or whatever. Like I like that. I can make whatever I want. I think it really just comes down to like the fake perception of freedom. Because really, like even if every YouTuber on the planet goes like, you can make a YouTube video about anything, it's like, no, you can't, sweaty. Well, you technically, yes, you can, but like 3 people are gonna see it. Like you can't necessarily make a video about anything. And I've had videos that have gotten those views. I thought so. I've always done long form content on my YouTube, for instance. And I was like, "Oh, okay. It's going to do long form content. Maybe people don't like long form content. Like maybe that's why I'm only getting like 50, 60 views. Well, let's do a couple short videos and see if that helps at all." And I did that, and I started doing that. I think I did 2 videos that were like short form. One that was like just around 10 minutes, and one that was I think, what was it? I think it was 5 minutes. One was like a reaction video to a music video. And then one was I went through a band's entire discography and made a tier list based off of that. And one of them did really good, but the only reason why I did good was because it was about a local band. So a lot of the people from my local area that know me and know the band watched it. I think that one did like 100 or so, a couple hundred views. And the band's also kind of popping off in this area right now. Scythe Gang 666, check them out. And then the other one I did on Census Fail, which is a much more popular band, more widely known. And I did a tier list on their video of their entire discography. I think literally it got like less than 10 views. It was atrocious. And I thought it was like, oh, this is going to be the thing that's going to like help me out, figure out like what I want to do. And like all it showed me was that like, oh no, long form content is what people expect from me at this point. Because I have been doing it for so long that like it's the only thing that people like want to see from me at this point, was that like, oh, you do videos that are like highly edited and stuff. That's like, you do things that are like highly edited and researched, and they're like, it's like a 20-minute video, and so people like that, and I like making it, so like I don't mind it. I just always like to check to see if people would rather me do short form content. Like I tried God, I'm so upset about it because maybe I'm gonna do probably like 1 or 2 more other videos like this, but I made a video called "What is Rap?" And it's basically me explaining like what the concept of rap is. Like, how would you describe rap to somebody who had never heard rap music before? And I thought I did a pretty good job. I thought I did like really, really nicely, but I got like no views on it. And I was really, really sad about that. I was like, oh, I was like really crushed, honestly. I spent so much more time editing that video than I had than any other video on my channel, almost guaranteed. And like, it just didn't do much. Nobody cared. So like, I'm gonna try. I thought like, oh, maybe it's because maybe it's because it's like a genre that is commonly known. So I'm gonna do one on like another more obscure genre. Probably some like I might even do dungeon synth. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking about a couple things. Um, yeah, exactly. That's a good point, Cipher. Like the thing about most YouTubers is that it takes them years to gain following. Exactly. That's what it is. I'm not upset about it. It's just like I'm trying to figure out what people want because like I keep putting out long form content and it does decent, but there's no like big growth, right? There's not even any big growth. There's not even small growth really necessarily. It just like there's like some videos do better than others. Like I have a video on my channel where I talk about folk punk and like I make a starter pack for folk punk and that has like 5K views and I was like cool. So I did another one on hardcore, which I know more people in. That's I think I honestly know more people in the hardcore community, and I'm definitely more active in the hardcore community personally. I think, and that video got like way less views. So I was like, okay, well it's not starter packs. So I did more like of the big genre, like what is like big genre depth, like discussion videos where it's like I go in and I really look at like a genre and I try to like kind of go through it and deconstruct it for people who want like a history about it and like where it is and where it's going and all that kind of fun stuff. And like the noise video, and I got a pretty good amount of views on that one. And but like it's never consistent. Every other, well not every other, but most of the other videos I've done in that kind of style gets somewhere between like 100 to 150 and sometimes less. But the noise video did really well. And then all of my starter packs have done decent for the time that I made them at, except for my hardcore one, which I thought was going to do much better. And so, like, I'm trying to find something that a lot of people like for me. And then I do the short form content, like the What is Rap video and stuff. And I find out that, like, well, people don't really like that. And so now I'm like trying to think of, well, maybe it's because a lot of people know rap, so it just doesn't seem interesting. So maybe I'll try something else. But, like, for the most part, I've noticed it's I just can't find like the consistent formula for my content. I guess is the best way to say it. Um, Also, we're like 20 minutes in. I should have said at the beginning. This is going to be a clusterfuck of me like going on, um, of me like going on trail after trail after trail of a bunch of random shit. um, because I don't keep good track of like what the conversation is when I'm talking just like to myself. So that's how this is gonna be. I should have said that earlier because because it gets pretty hard to follow. Um, that's true. I could do something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I could do something like doing like the TikTok style of content where like it's really short, sweet, punctuated, like you know, kind of like Vine stuff where it's like if but the issue is I don't know if I can make that work for what I want to do. And that's the issue is that like I'm having this struggle where I'm like trying to figure out to find a balance between like what I want to do and what would get me success. Because if I wanted to get successful, I would just do a reaction channel because they're fucking brain dead easy and everyone and a lot of people like watching them as a guilty pleasure. Hi, that's me. I also like watching them as a guilty pleasure from time to time. And like, yeah, that's true. I could do that. That could be interesting actually. Like, have you ever wondered what the history behind this is? And then like a short summary, and then like shout out my YouTube or whatever. That's actually that's a possibility. I haven't done anything with TikTok. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't really done any like I haven't looked into TikTok that much. Haven't really done any content for TikTok. Fuck, I haven't even edited anything for TikTok. Like, dead ass. Like, even though I know that's like a big thing that a lot of editors are doing right now is like TikTok content. It's just it's interesting. It's just something I haven't really thought of going into. But yeah, no, like I'm trying to find like a somewhat consistent formula that people like from my content. And I think the number one things I'm gonna go into more is I'm gonna do another discussion video that I already have mostly written. I'm gonna do another what is video of the shorter form content. And then I think I'm just gonna, I don't know, I'm just gonna see where it takes me and see what happens. As far as you can get on the creator fund, yeah, that's what it is for TikTok. I remember that, but their creator fund's not that good if I remember correctly. The CPM's like really low, but I mean it's something. I mean I'm not getting paid from this shit or YouTube, so you know I don't really give a fuck about that much. Shouldn't complain about any kind of money. If I'm getting money, that's good. I have a feeling though it's like Twitch where like, dude, on Twitch, I swear to God, like every day on Twitter, I see people, possibly a good starter, not the end goal though. Yeah, exactly. Like, I swear to God, I see people on Twitter like once every couple days where they're like, "Oh, I met all the requirements for to get partnered or whatever to get paid," but nothing happened, and they won't approve me, and it's like, yeah, it's because Twitch is selective as fuck. You basically have to go above and beyond their path to getting affiliate or whatever it's called to get paid at all through subs or bits or whatever. It's kind of sucks, but yeah. Yeah, no, I like doing the history type stuff. For the next video I'm doing, I'm gonna be doing hyperpop, and I'm really excited about that one because that history is really like it's the true like underground shit. It's not even like oh man, this metal genre is really underground, but really it's like hardcore. Everyone's like, man, hardcore is like really underground, but like if you look at it, music videos get like a lot of views, and hardcore bands get like good publicity in festivals. Yeah, they're never headlining, but they're always on the bill. Like you always see Code Orange and Knock Loose, and sometimes like Varials, for instance, or Spite on the bill. They're not like underground, but they're not huge. But this is like real underground shit. The history of hyperpop, I mean. So like I'm really excited to finish up writing out this video because I think it's going to be a good one and hopefully people like it. And be talking about like why hyperpop is important and why it's like excuse me, why hyperpop is important and why it's going to like really change the music industry. Because I really honestly think that after hyperpop got a little bit of popularity with Charlie XCX and Dorian Electra and 100 Gex, that like pop music will not be the same after this. I genuinely think that for at least a while, pop will not be the same. I think that's a good thing though, personally. Anyways, back to back to why I chose to do content creation stuff instead of music. So I started going through school, and like I just kind of realized I didn't really give a fuck about like music anymore in that sort of way of making it. Like I want to make music, I want to go back up on stage, I want to still sing and scream and all that fun stuff. But like in a sense, I don't really give that much of a shit about anything else having to do with music. Like I don't give a shit about anything else. Like I want to perform and I want to write to have an outlet, but otherwise I don't care. And I don't really have as much of a desire to do it. Like after my band broke up, that's all I wanted to do was get in another band and do vocals again and all that fun stuff. But like now I don't have that same itch. Every now and again I'll have like a really bad night where I'm like, fuck, I want to be in a band so bad. But then like the next day I'm like, fuck that, that's a lot of work. It's like a lot of work. I don't really give a fuck. Um but yeah, no, like so I just kept going through school, and like I ended up just really liking making content. I thought it was fun. It was fun. It was easy. Well, not easy, but it was fun, and it I didn't think it would. Here's my way to say it. I didn't think it would fill up as much time as it does, and I liked that it fills up more time. I didn't think it'd be as fulfilling as as uh as it is. And yeah, at some point I want to go busking. I'll go busking with you at some point, 100%. I'm shit at every instrument aside from bass though. um, but yeah, no, like I didn't think I'd be as fulfilled just making content and editing and doing whatever the fuck else. Oh, and I didn't think I'd be as fulfilled, but I ended up really really liking it. It ended up being like really really good for me. I ended up like really finding a place in like I like the process, I think. I like being able to like sit down, write out a full idea and having it be made and not for me but by me in my way. It's yeah, it's great. So that ended up being why like I want to keep doing content instead of like focusing on music or whatever. Not saying that I'll never do music again or anything because I really want to, but just for now, while I don't have like much time, you know. And some people, oh, you know what? Some people also might be wondering why I don't upload like gaming content on YouTube. And the main answer is I do commission editing, right? I edit for other people um, pretty regularly. The majority of them being gaming channels because gaming is really popular on YouTube, like really popular. So So, so that means I am already looking at gameplay footage constantly. I just edited a Mario Sunshine video for a dude a while ago on a Twitch streamer a while ago. Um, so I just I didn't really care that much about making it for myself. I don't think I have anything interesting to add just by myself. I think it's fun live. So that's why I do it on my Twitch, for instance. But I don't think it's fun for YouTube. I don't find myself watching gameplay footage on YouTube if I'm being honest. I find myself watching like video essays on games and game design, but I don't find myself watching real like let's plays or even really highlighted videos unless it's by a Twitch streamer I like. Like if I'm being honest, I don't think YouTube is good for gaming stuff for me. Obviously, for a lot of other people, it's great, and a lot of other people really like it and like it more than Twitch. But I think for gaming, I think like rather watch Twitch, honestly, or like at least the highlighted versions that people upload on their YouTube. I don't know, the live aspect. Something about the live aspect really gets to me. And also, I don't. Again, I'm not the most witty, funny, loud, expressive person, as you all probably know. In terms of my content, so like, I don't know. It feels boring. I think it come off as really boring. At most, I would probably upload my vods. So like, that's true. 10 years later, Minecraft's still popular. That's very true. I do have a Minecraft server that I need to actually make a new world on. Maybe one day. I like Twitch more. If like here's the thing. If my Twitch goes anywhere, then I'm absolutely making videos out of it. But I don't want to just be like I don't think I don't think I'd have any interesting ideas in terms of gaming that would make people want to watch me over the 95,000 other channels that exist and are doing like the same or similar content as I would be doing. You know what I mean? I think it's just the oversaturation. I think music and like music analysis is far more interesting for me to make. I think I like the music audience a lot more than just gaming audiences because listen, man, I don't know about you, but I wasn't watching music analysis when I was like 12. So like I feel like I just don't listen, man. I'm 22 now, bro. I don't want to be hanging out with no 12-year-olds, man. I already might have to do it on Twitch every now and again. I'd rather not have to also do it on YouTube. I don't want to be like the total babysitter, you know? Like one day, maybe one day if I get like good numbers, but like for now, I don't want to be the babysitter, you know? But I really like doing it on Twitch. Twitch is fun. I think honestly, Twitch is like, I think honestly, I like doing Twitch more than YouTube almost because I can be more sporadic. Like I dead ass, I'm not kidding. We're 30 minutes in. Half the people aren't listening that are gonna listen to this podcast aren't listening anymore, especially after that me bumping my mic there. Um, so I'm just this is how this stream in this podcast happened. First of all, the podcast happened because I was like, man, this could be this could be a fun idea, and then I made it. Well, really, then I asked my partner Olivia to make a logo, which you see in the no wait, it's mirrored. There you go, up in that corner. And then I was like, cool, I'm gonna do it, and then I did it, and I started doing it. And how this stream and thing got recorded is I was taking a fucking fat McDonald's shit. I just ate some McDonald's. I was like, man, my tum tum's not happy with me, and I took a fat shit, and I was like, man, I should do that podcast I've been thinking about doing for a while. This will be fun. Fresh off the shitter, I'm like golden right now. I'm fucking like elated at this point just because I'm off the shitter. So this should be fun. um, yeah, and so that's why I like Twitch, is because I can be more spontaneous. With YouTube, there's an expectation of like some kind of polish that that Twitch just doesn't have because it's live. So when people tune into a Twitch stream, they expect, well, they don't, I guess I shouldn't say expect, but they will tolerate technical difficulties. If my webcam like shits out randomly or my mic is just like fucked for whatever reason, people aren't going to be like, ah, fuck you, and like leave necessarily. I mean, some might, but like not all. And whereas with YouTube, like, and even I'm guilty of this sometimes. If I hear some like shit ass audio, I'm out. I'm fucking out. Because like there's a level of polishness that a YouTube video has to have because it's edited. So like I can't be as spontaneous. I have to like have an actual realized idea. And yeah, no, like that's I think why I like Twitch, because I can be more just like, fuck it, I'm gonna stream right now. And I can just kind of go live. Like the other night when I went live and played Left 4 Dead Left 4 Dead 2 versus mode, that was entirely spontaneous. Like I was already in a Discord call with a bunch of my friends, and we are just like, oh, we could play Left 4 Dead. Oh, but we have more than 4. Oh, but we could play Left 4 Dead versus. Oh, we should do that. And then we like went live, and it was super fun. That was like the most fun I've had on stream in forever. And not only was that like the most fun I've had on stream, that was the most fun that is like the funniest stream I've had too. And that's the other thing too, is that like on YouTube, like if I have collaborators, especially in the state that I'm, or not the state, but the, not like geographically the state, but and the state of my life right now, they, and my content as well, they have to be A, music nerds, B, have to be music nerds on the topic that I'm talking about, and C, they have to be in like my like time schedule, because you know it's fucking 2:30 in the morning right now as I'm doing this live. Like it's not many people are up when I'm up, so like that's another issue. But yeah, no, like that's kind of what inspired me to do Twitch, was that like I understood how OBS worked, and I like the aspect of live. I like the aspect of spontaneousness. And I was like, well, why don't I just do it? And then I did it. And I've been really liking doing it. Something to do when I don't have a project or I'm not like at my day job or whatever. And it gives me an excuse to play video games and not have to feel bad about it. So that's pretty sick. And because of the fact that it's not YouTube, I don't have to like schedule a bunch of stuff and like worry about like, oh, is it gonna perform well? Because at the end of the day, if I'm being honest, on Twitch, like yeah, there can be some really cool content that you do that propels you to the next stage of your like Twitch career. or like some clip goes viral on LSF or whatever. But like at the end of the day, nothing you do is really necessarily going to like propel you. Like unless someone raids me, I have like a consistent viewer count that I generally have. And like that's I don't really care if I go below that because it's just like whatever the fuck happens, man. I don't give a fuck. But on YouTube, if I go below my general like average, I start freaking out. I'm like, oh fuck, what did I do wrong? Okay, let's analyze this. What did I do wrong? What did people not like about this? And I have to start like really thinking about it because again, with Twitch, I can go live whenever the fuck I want and for whatever the fuck I want to do. And some people may come along and some people may fucking be like, not for me. And you know what? I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to do it because it takes me so little effort and I just like, it's an expression at this point. I don't care. But on YouTube, I have to spend hours and hours and hours and hours like polishing stuff and writing and editing and filming that I'm just in research alone. And like, if so something flops, I'm like, I have to think about what I did wrong to make sure that it happens as little as possible in the future. You know what I mean? And I think that's why I like Twitch so much, and that's why I started streaming. But because I can care less. Like I can be more authentic as well. I don't have to like put on like the YouTube like, hey guys, you want to talk about folk punk today? Woo! I can just kind of be whatever. I can be low energy. And as long as I'm having fun, I don't give a fuck about how many people are watching me because I'm having fun. I think that's the biggest thing is that like on my YouTube I have to think about like numbers because again, the hours of polishing that has to go into a YouTube video. Whereas on my Twitch I can just kind of be like, whatever. um I think that's a big difference for me. But yeah, no, like with whatchamacallit, I'm forgetting what I was gonna go to next. Oh yeah, some of you might be wondering, why Quartz? Why the name? Why did I pick the tag that I go by online everywhere? Let me let you in on a very big secret. So, I was out in eastern Washington, like the boonies, in the desert. I found this wonderful cave. And I'm thinking it's like getting close to sundown. I don't have any camping gear. I can't find my way back to my car. So I'm like, oh, I think I should go sit in this cave, like relax a bit, recharge a bit, and then I should go back out and like try to find my way with the stars. Because I'm really into astronomy. If you're my friend, you would, if you're my friend, been my friend for a long time since like probably high school, you probably know that. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do that. So I go into this cave and I lay down, and I pull out my phone. And I don't have any service, but the last thing I got while in service was my friend online roasting the fuck out of my name that I had because it was like really cringe. And I was like, oh, I need to have a new name. I can't face the embarrassment. Oh, I can't face the embarrassment. Oh, I can't have people thinking I have a stupid name. No. And so then I looked to my left and right and I saw a crystal and I was like, quartz. Cool. And that was all fake, by the way. That story never happened. No, I was in my room and I didn't like the name on my the tag I had, so I looked to my left and I saw my friend's crystals that he had. He had a crystal set that he had, and so I just named myself Quartz. That's the actual story. Much less enthralling than being lost in the desert, but much more funny. So yeah, that's why I picked Quartz, and I spelled it wrong because the tag was already taken. Otherwise, tag isn't used anymore. The account hasn't been used in fucking years, but it's taken. So, you know, dude, you should know by now, Red. You should know that I'm a dickhead. But I have actually gotten lost in that kind of shit before. Never went into a cave, just kind of had to work my way out. But yeah, no. Yeah, that's why I picked Quartz, and I spelled it wrong because the tag was already taken if it was spelled right. Quartz was already taken, so I was like, well, Quartz, Quartz, spell it how it sounds. But yeah, and then let's think about what else. What else can I explain about myself? Oh, I could talk about why I decided to even do this podcast instead of just like doing or like what the concept was behind this podcast, I guess. Um so the idea behind this podcast was I was gonna interview like musicians and artists and artists of any kind. Like I want to do like visual artists, but I don't have any connections in that community aside from my partner. And it'd be cool to interview them, but they also hate being on camera, so I have to figure out a way to do that without forcing them to be on camera. And so I wanted to interview people because here's the thing. So I listen to a lot of podcasts because my quote day job is overnight. I work an overnight job, and that's what pays my bills currently. Content doesn't pay my bills yet, but it's getting there. It's getting there. It's my food money and my fuck around money. But so I was like I was listening to a podcast in my work, and I was like, oh, I want to listen to like musicians talking about music and stuff. That'd be fun. So I'm like scrolling down, and I'm like listening to like I'm listening to like 5 or 10 minutes of like each of them, and they're all so serious. Like they're so incredibly serious. And so I'm like, I wanted to. So then I was like, "Oh, I just want to laugh now." And so then I was listening to a comedian's podcast, and I was like, God, they're not serious at all. There's no in between. And I was just, I hated it, because like if you get like a funny podcast, then I'm engaged. I don't fucking learn anything. I don't progress at all. I don't come away with any other information other than laughing, which is fine. But like, I want to come away with some kind of information. So then I was like, well, but then if I listen to a serious podcast, then that shit's just boring, because all I'm listening to in the middle of the night while throwing like freight around is just like, it's like, yes, and then the Velvet Underground released their next album, and it would change music forever. And I'm like, dude, I'm gonna fall asleep. I'm gonna fucking fall asleep standing up. Like, I hate this. And like, so I had to find like some kind of in between that like I really liked, and I couldn't find anything, honestly. I couldn't find anything with the kind of humor that I liked, I guess I should say. Because there are some like music podcasts or information podcasts that are funny, but it's just not my kind of humor. So like I was trying to find something, and I just couldn't. So I was like, well, then I think there's a space for this. I can't be the only one. So then I was like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna make it then. And so I made a podcast. I made the Wiretap, and yeah, no, I so far I think I've had some pretty good episodes. I like all of them I've had so far. I'd say the first one was the most awkward with Skylar from Straight Line Arrival, but that's not their fault. That's just my fault because I'm fucking really anxious while talking to people for the first time over voice. Same thing with The Day Without Love, which that's not my fault, or that's not their fault either. Um, it's just like I'm really anxious talking to people for the first time over voice, and but I think my favorite one was probably either the one that just came out, which was Alex from Cut Both Ways, because he's just like genuinely one of my favorite people that I've ever met through music. So I was like, so that one was easy because I was like, oh, he's gonna come through. We're gonna hang out. Like it's gonna be a fucking good time. We're just gonna talk. Like, and that was really fun. Or I'd probably say Tyler from Not, just because like even though I'd never really talked to him in person, or I haven't really met him much, outside of like talking online. Like it was just so easy to talk to him. I don't know why, but it was so easy to talk to him. Maybe it's because it was like the first video I made that like people paid attention to. I don't know. I don't know. But either way, he was really easy to talk to, and we just talked about music a lot. So like that was cool. But yeah, no, I really really like um doing this podcast because it's really easy for me to do. It's really fun for me to do. It's ironic because I say I'm like really bad at talking to people for the first time, and I'm like anxious and shy, but I think I'm honestly more anxious right now while doing this podcast alone than doing any of the other ones. So this is probably going to be a train wreck online. I'm not going to listen to any of this. I'm just going to chop off the beginning and end, and I'm just going to fucking paste my fucking intro and outro on it, and I'm going to render it out, and I'm not going to listen to shit because I'm going to cringe a lot probably because, oh my God, I'm really awkward while just talking to myself. I think that's probably why I get really anxious while recording. Because even though I'm the only one in the room, I think I'm just like I'm bad at talking when nobody else is around. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I know that like, because like my comedy, I'm funnier. I'm funnier while when other people are like involved. I don't know. Kind of food for thought. Hmm. But yeah, no. I'm gonna take the last like 15-ish minutes of this to talk about music. Talk about my personal taste in music. Cause I mean you'll see a lot in on my channel, like what I generally like. But like I don't know. I also have to talk about just like what's popular, to a certain extent. I don't generally, but like I've been really loving hardcore for like 3 years. Yeah, like 3 years now. But it took me like fucking 3 years to make a video on it because I just didn't think it'd be popular. I didn't think anybody would give a fuck. So it took me a long time to actually make a video out of it, out of the genre. But like I've been really into rap recently. I don't know why, but like metal has not been hitting for me lately. Mainly, I think because I haven't seen it live in so long. Because like metal, like for anyone in my chat who is potentially watching, who potentially hasn't seen a metal show live, whether it be hardcore, death metal, black metal, metalcore, post-hardcore, whatever, doesn't matter. If you haven't seen it live, you don't understand the energy of like a metal album to its fullest extent. Cause like I remember when I first got into it, I was like, yeah, like I like rock music because I didn't really know what metal was at the time. Just go with it. Like yeah, I like rock music, but like it's kind of it's whatever. I just haven't found anything else I really like as much. And then I went to see Rise Against and A Day to Remember and Title Fight play at Key Arena. I think it was Key Arena. Was it Key Arena? It was the one in Showware. No, I apologize. Not Key Arena. It was Showware Arena in Kent when I was like 12. And from that day on, uh, punk and like metalcore and rock became my genres. Like they became my genres. Because the energy at like a show is so different. And like I think I could say the same for rap honestly too. For rap I remember I liked it, but I didn't it was just like kind of whatever. It was my thing, I guess. Like it was just like yeah, I like some rap here and there, but it's not like anything different than anything else I listen to on a shuffle. Like I like some electronic, but I don't really give a fuck about seeing it live. So, I don't really care that much about it. I'll just have it on shuffle. I'm not invested, basically, is a better way of saying it. I'm not invested. But when I went and saw Token and Joyner Lucas at Showbox Soto one year, I instantly became a fucking rap fan, which is really ironic considering the reason why I became a metal fan is because I was like, oh, it's insane that they're doing all this like complicated instrumentation and vocalizations live. Like it's so cool. And while still being able to be showman about like the crowd interaction and stuff, that's so cool. And like that's why I became a metal fan and also just the community. But like then at a rap show, it was the opposite. I was like, oh, this is their showmanship is just through the roof. And I just like hearing the music this loud, and I think it was a fun show. And also, I was like, I just like supporting these people. So I think I don't know. Is that really the reason why I like that rap show so much? Because I've only ever been to two rap shows. I went and saw Ghostmane at Studio 7 one year, and he was playing with Wavy Jones and a couple other smaller SoundCloud rappers I don't remember the names of. But then he was also. But then I also saw Joyner Lucas and Token that one time as well. Is that really the only? Is that really the reason why I like rap? I don't know. This seems kind of fickle. Why did I like that show so much? I can't remember honestly. Oh, that's weird. I don't remember. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think it I think maybe because it was a new experience. Maybe I don't know. Interesting, weird, but I really liked it, and I got really into rap. So I've been listening to a lot of rap recently because just metal hasn't been hitting the same because I haven't seen it live in so long. But metal is still like metal and specifically hardcore. I'm just gonna say metal though to be general. Metal is still like probably my favorite. It's like genre of music. Um, with punk coming at a close second, and then rap, and then the hyperpop. Hyperpop is honestly like bubblegum based hyperpop type stuff is probably like my favorite up and coming genre. Just because it's like so almost normal, like if they have an interlude or like an intro with no vocals, it almost sounds normal. Like it's a little blown out, oversaturated and bouncy, but you could like probably convince someone that it's normal. And I think it'd be really funny. I think it'd be really funny to do that. But then the vocals come in and they're super pitched and auto-tuned, and then like the beat usually goes crazier when the vocals start, and it's such like an experience, and it's so like almost normal, but it's also like chaotic and like noise ridden, and it's just it's so beautiful. And I think that's why I like it so much, is that it's so almost normal that it's beautiful. K-But Electro Swing, also true. Electro Swing's great. I need to listen to more Electro Swing, honestly. I haven't really like kept up with the genre that much after I think after I was like 20. Um but yeah, no, like I remember the day I found um hyperpop. I was going to hang out with an old coworker of mine. Um and I was like, "Oh man, what have you been listening to?" Because he's a huge music head like I am. So I was like, "Oh, what have you been listening to?" And he's like, "Okay, does your or okay. I'm gonna put something on." And we're in the car right now. He was in the passenger seat, and he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna put something on right now. You are not going to like it. Like you're just not going to like it, but that's okay. It kind of slaps, but you just have to like let it sink in. All right." And I was like, "That's fine, man." I listened to like Death Grips and Clipping and like harsh wall noise artists a lot, and like grind, gore grind and grindcore and all that fun stuff. So like, yeah, go ahead. And he throws on, I think he threw on "Stupid Horse" by 100 Gex, and I was like instantly infatuated. I was just like, at first I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to like this. I don't know if I'm gonna like this. And then like I listened to the whole song and I was just like, no, I fucking love this. Like, I loved it. It was great. It was like really honestly probably the most interesting piece of music I found in a long time, or I found in a long time. It wasn't my friend showed it to me, but you know, it was just interesting because like it's again it's so close to normal. I really didn't know where it was going. I thought it was just gonna be like a normal SoundCloud rap song, and then with like a weird beat or with a weird rhythm, and then "Stupid Horse" comes on, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? And then he played "Ringtone" after that, and then he played Quinn, who is a hyperpop artist, and you can find her under either OS Quinn online, or you sometimes or like on Spotify and other services like that, you find her under Parker, but with a 4 instead of an A and without an E. So it's P4RKR. But anyways, like he put her on, and that was really cool. And like I just fell in love with the genre, and I was like, I have to find more. I have to find more. And I found Dorian Electra, and I really loved her. I've actually found Dorian Electra from Andrew Huang video, because he did a Four Producers Flip One Sample episode where he used Dorian Electra's vocals stems from her song, or from their song Daddy, I think, or Daddy Like. I think that's what the song was. Anyways, yeah, no, like I just fell in love with hyperpop. I absolutely fell in total love with this genre. I love how like inclusive it is, like LGBTQ wise. I love how inclusive it is in terms of like genre parameters. It's very fluid. I have found very different artists with different inspirations in hyperpop. I mean, there's people like Quinn and 100 Gex who are much more like abrasive and more like in more in your face kind of hyperpop, and then there's people like Dorian Electra and like Winter Walls. I think that's who it was, or no, Midwest. Midwest was who it was. I think. Let me check actually, because I don't want to get that wrong, because it deserves more respect. Yeah, Midwest. Um, and sorry, I'm on. And Black Winter Wells is what I was looking for. I apologize, but yeah, like it's just so interesting. Like it's such an interesting genre of music, and it like I don't want to give away too much about its history because I don't want to spoil my video about it. But like it's such an interesting genre of music that exploded to such an interesting level that like by all standards started as kind of a meme in a way, but like is so serious now. Like obviously it's still somewhat parody. Like the beat is a like everything about it is like taking pop to the peak of like parody at this point. Like overly chipmunked like style, pitch shifting, and then like a lot of like way too much auto tune and all that fun stuff. And the lyrics are like sometimes like actually serious and personal, and sometimes just like basic flex pop lyrics, but like it's interesting. I don't know. But that's why I've been really into hyperpop recently. I just love how inclusive it is in terms of the genre itself and in terms of the people who they accept in their community. It's very, very, very interesting. And like it almost has no like you wouldn't I think there's like 1,000 other timelines where hyperpop never gets out of SoundCloud. You know what I mean? Like it never grows farther than SoundCloud. I think there's 1,000 other timelines like that, and we just so happen to be in the one where it does, and I'm so happy about that. I'm so happy about it. Um, but yeah, no, I think that's where I'm gonna end it. I think it's been first like first solo podcast. I don't know if I ever do this again, or if I do, it'll be a while from now. But yeah, hey, yeah, exactly, right on the hour mark. I got a little timer. It's great. I'm still gonna stream after this though. I'm just gonna end the recording. But yeah, um, for anyone on the audio listening to this, anyone like listening to this in the future on like any podcasting service, you can also watch this at YouTube where you can see my ugly face in it, and you can also watch it live on Twitch. There's no actual schedule for it on Twitch, but it's just whenever I go live, I go live. It's twitch.tv/quartz_TV, QWARTZ TV, and you just follow me, and and yeah, just follow me. Cost you nothing. If you want to join my Discord, you can join it. You can join it by either typing in chat !Discord and it pops up, or scrolling down and you'll find a little panel where it has it. If you want to find me on YouTube, youtube.com/quartztv. You can find me there. And yeah, no. And my podcast is available wherever the fuck podcasts are found under the Wiretap. So yeah. Good one.